In the early hours of Friday, May the 7th, 1999, NATO planes bombed the center of Belgrade and almost risked bringing China into the conflict on the side of the Serbs. 2 rockets hit the Chinese embassy. Damage to any foreign embassy would have been embarrassing enough. Hitting the Chinese building brought a diplomatic nightmare. 3 Chinese journalists were killed by the rockets. 20 more embassy staff were injured, some of them seriously. In Beijing, the television news services put out dramatic and emotional coverage of the attack, which they described quite simply as a war crime. The West did what they could to apologize. This from the NATO Secretary General.
The North Atlantic Council wishes to express its deep regret for the tragic mistake of the bombing of the Chinese embassy in Belgrade.
The Chinese called a crisis meeting of the Security Council to express their anger.
NATO's barbarian act is a gross violation of the United Nations Charter, international law, and the norms governing international relations.
In China itself, the sense of patriotic outrage was only too plain. Tiananmen Square apart, there'd been nothing like this since the Cultural Revolution in 1967, when the Red Guards burned down the British embassy. No one in Beijing believed the bombing was a mistake. The American explanation, that it was an intelligence error, was dismissed by the Chinese as a lie. The British embassy had a particularly torrid time. Happily, no one was injured, but it was a tense moment. In Yugoslavia, the effect of the embassy bombing was to make efforts at ending the Kosovo conflict that much more difficult, and put China firmly alongside Russia in opposing airstrikes. The bombing did not end the diplomatic maneuvering, but it darkened and extended them. Many more lives were lost, many more refugees were to flee, partly as a result of what the military called bluntly this collateral damage.